Hello! Welcome to my live. Today we're going to be talking about the power of authenticity. So if you're someone who resonates with authenticity and is looking to experience more of that in your life and know about some opportunities that allow you to embrace more of your authenticity, this live is for you, okay? Let's do this. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to be talking about some stuff about when I wasn't able to be my most authentic self, how I was able to harness that, how the universe rewards us for being authentic and living in our truth, as well as being vulnerable a little bit later. Because authenticity is all about being yourself. It's not about being perfect. It's about being yourself. And that's more relatable. It's more cool. It's more realistic. So, look at you can see yourself. Breaking the fourth wall. All right. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing amazingly. I want to talk about authenticity. And a lot of jobs, a lot of careers, a lot of employment opportunities don't really encourage employees to be authentic. You know, there's this hierarchy, there are expectations, there are certain spoken or unspoken guidelines, and I'm not saying be problematic, you know. I'm not saying cause chaos and just say whatever goes through your mind. But there is just a lot of restrictions when you're an employee, and it kind of makes you tone down who you are, and it makes you tone down your authenticity. And as an accountant, you know, a few years ago, that was definitely something that I didn't even realize was happening, was I did have to tone myself down, you know. I remember specifically when we were in this conference room, we were just having lunch. We probably were in a training, and all of us were in this conference room, and I was just joking around because that's just who I am. Just joking around, not taking things so seriously. And I remember saying something that, like, I was bottom of the barrel, like staff accountant, lowest on the totem pole. And I'm not sure what I was joking about, but I remember my HR person, we had some differences in opinions and things. And I just remember in my first year as an accountant, her looking at me and giving me a very disapproving look when I was just joking around. I'm like, all right, I kind of know what this place is about. It's a more serious environment. There were opportunities. It was kind of confusing because there were also opportunities in which we would go and have outings and drink and some kind of conflicting things, but let's just say I didn't feel like I could fully be myself as an accountant. I feel like I had to tone myself down. I had to bite my tongue, especially where I was on the hierarchy, and the reason I have tattoos on my arms is because I wanted to be able to hide them. And something that is unique with entrepreneurship, and I believe the only career and the only option that really allows you and encourages you to embrace your authenticity, is doing your own thing, is starting your own business, is being an entrepreneur, whether you're a motivational speaker, whether you're a coach, whether you're a writer, an author. Doing your own thing, I believe, is like one of the only, if not the only way that you really fully can be yourself and do what you love, unless you're an artist, which I feel like, especially if artists kind of have their own business and commission their own art, then that is still in the umbrella of entrepreneurship, you know what I mean? So one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur and starting your own business is freedom of expression And that goes to like words, the words that you say. You don't have to tone yourself down. You can have all of the tattoos that you want. You can dye your hair. You can wear glitter. You can do pretty much anything. And not only does this job encourage you to be authentic and encourage you to be yourself, you actually get rewarded for it. So something that is really exciting and really fun is this universal law. And the universal law is called the law of Dharma, the law of purpose. Dharma is basically like living in alignment to your purpose. And when you live in alignment to your purpose, the universe opens up paths, opens up opportunities that weren't previously available, because the universe wants to encourage you to be yourself, encourage you to be your true self, live your truth, and doesn't necessarily open up pathways for humans who may not be living in their authenticity. So something really cool about the power of authenticity is that the universe unlocks things for you that it normally may not, and offers you opportunities that allow you to reach your highest potential and become the most successful version of you. So I think that that's really cool, and allows your desires to flow more easily to you when you're living in alignment to your purpose, which really, your life's purpose is just, there's other layers to it, and I do want to go over that at some other point, but one of the main ones is just being yourself. You know, we each come here and we're each so totally unique and have unique experiences and unique perspectives, and it's just embracing that uniqueness versus trying to fit in a box, you know? So yeah, not only are you encouraged as an entrepreneur to live in alignment to your authenticity and your purpose, you're rewarded for it, which I think is like so cool. I didn't even realize it until I started, but definitely something cool and fun to consider. So because things are coming to you more easily when you're living in your authenticity, you become a powerful magnet, not only to your desires and your dreams, but also to people. People are definitely drawn to more humans who embrace their wholeness, and it encourages other humans also to embrace their wholeness, right? Embrace their uniqueness and maybe the things that make us imperfect, even though I feel like we're all perfect. So I will say perfectly imperfect, or vice versa. And because your authenticity is a powerful magnet, people are drawn to you. People are drawn to your unique signature. So me and a friend could say the exact same thing, but it might hit different for other people, right? Like maybe someone resonates more with what I'm sharing. Maybe someone resonates more with what they're sharing. So the cool thing about that, and about embracing your authenticity as an entrepreneur, as an aspiring entrepreneur, is that the idea of competition, the idea of lack, the idea of scarcity, it's all just an idea. It's all just an illusion, because so many people exist and so many people have a unique energetic signature. It draws certain people to them. You know, I resonate with this woman online named Catherine Zankita, and I've heard this other girl say similar things, but I just have a specific resonance with her as a coach. I just feel drawn to her. I don't know what it is. It's just the way that she says things. It's the way that she does things. It's just, I feel drawn to her. And when we hear like the market is flooded, right? The market is flooded and overcrowded with coaches. I just personally don't subscribe to that, because I don't have necessarily the same exact competition as other people because I'm just a unique, I just have a different unique energetic signature. And you have a unique energetic signature that people, and certain people are going to be drawn to you. And you're meant to help those people. So the idea of competition and scarce and lack is just, to me, doesn't really make sense because we're all here to help different people. I have little notes, so that's kind of what's keeping me on track here. Another cool thing about becoming an entrepreneur is that, of course, there are unique challenges that are not really existing in other careers. And I'm not going to lie, it's not like a cakewalk. It's not. I'm going to share a little bit about some of the struggles that I've been personally experiencing a little bit later. But with those challenges also comes, like, you're kind of getting paid for being yourself. Like, your authenticity is what is rewarding you. So it's like, of course, there comes with like action steps and going outside of your comfort zone and trying new things and falling down and getting back up. So there are challenges, but in a lot of ways, people are drawn to you. So your job is really to embrace yourself and be yourself. Like, can you imagine just getting paid for being yourself? Because that's kind of what entrepreneurs do. They are encouraged and rewarded for sharing their unique abilities, their unique talents and gifts, and for being themselves and teaching others, probably most likely helping others who are in similar situations as them, right? Help others through challenges that they've already grown through. So it's really, it has its own challenges, I will not lie. But in some ways it's like the easiest job on earth because it's just you being yourself. And that's truly how you change the world as well, is whether you're an entrepreneur or not. That's how you change the world, is just by being yourself. You know, you can say, oh yeah, what's an example? Because it's like, you can say anything, right? You can say, I make $100,000 a year and I have like 1 million followers or something. And it's like, you can say that stuff, but it's like, are you embodying what you're sharing? Are you being who you say you are? Are you living in alignment to that authenticity? And it's like, when you're doing it, when you're just being yourself and you're just doing it and you're in alignment with your integrity, which is like your outside, your actions outside of you, and what you say matches what's going on inside of you, and it's very congruent. Like, all right, it is what she says it is. It is what he says it is. It just is what it is. That's when it becomes one of the most easiest jobs in the world, because it just comes so natural to you. I'm myself having like challenges, but that means I'm growing, right? But I'm going to share about that a little, like, very shortly, all right? And when you're being yourself, right, and you are expressing and being your true self, you are helping others in so many amazing ways, amazing, unique ways that you couldn't have possibly done in other situations and other careers potentially. And when we tone ourselves down, that kind of limits the way that we are able to help other people, because people are drawn to that authenticity and people are drawn to your openness and your vulnerability. Like, I feel like part of my authenticity is like being vulnerable and being open, and it's always just something that I looked for in other people, and something that has inspired me myself to want to go down this path, this entrepreneurial path, and also be able to share online and get through fears, is because a lot of what drives me is being able to help other people in incredibly meaningful ways that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And to be able to be paid for that, to be able to do stuff, get paid for stuff that I would do for free, that's the dream, right? Like, that's the dream. It doesn't even feel like work. It just feels exciting, and it feels fun, and it feels fulfilling, right? And there's so many benefits to being an entrepreneur. It makes the challenges worth it. So another thing with authenticity is you might see people online who kind of seem like they have perfect lives. I'm thinking about it as like I'm live right now, but their life, it's perfect. And to me, seeing people whose lives are perfect, I don't know, like certain like pop stars, they kind of just seem like they're just perfect. They're just so I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's like perfect. And to me, that's like totally unrelatable, because I know for a fact that my life isn't perfect, and a lot of people, that's what a lot of humans with like a huge following, they're portraying perfection in their lives. And it's like, to me, if anything, it's not inspiring. It's almost discouraging, because like, what's going on in my life where I'm not experiencing this level of perfection? Like, what's wrong with me? I think, and I know from my experience, is like, as a person who watches people on social media, as a follower myself, what encourages me and what inspires me and what motivates me more than anything is people being open about and being authentic in a way that it's like, I'm not perfect, my life isn't perfect, this is the reality. But it's like, yeah, I don't want to necessarily see like all the ways that you feel like you're flawed. Personally, I try to mix in some fun and some inspiring stuff, but it's also important to include or do your best to include the whole picture. And part of what has inspired me is other people's vulnerability, so I definitely try to incorporate that as well. I'm still figuring it out. I'm doing my best to figure that out, as I'm kind of revamping my channel, and this isn't YouTube, revamping my account, because I recently separated my personal and my business account. So it's like, this is still new for me, is trying to niche down and focus on the marketing side of things, and focus on how I can reach aspiring entrepreneurs and help encourage them to move past their fears and start their own business, right? Like, I'm still working and learning through a lot of this stuff. It's crazy, because when I share, I'm not afraid, but when I share things on socials, the universe almost immediately gives me an opportunity for me myself to learn through what I'm sharing, for me to embody what I'm trying to teach other people. And it's important, right? Like integrity and doing what you say you're gonna do, congruence, inner and outer alignment, you know. But it's not always easy, you guys. Like I'm still figuring it out, right? And it can be discouraging when, I don't know, it's kind of like a lonely kind of journey when you decide to be an entrepreneur. And this is in no way, shape, or form meant to discourage anyone from pursuing this path, because it's still the best decision I ever made. I think any career and any path and journey that you're on is going to provide its own challenges that kind of look like problems, but they're really just opportunities for growth. That's a lesson that I've been learning from a video that I shared yesterday. And it's not always easy when you're on the journey, because there's so much trial and error. There's many times where I feel like I've fallen down, and it's all about falling down and getting back up. And I think that happens in life anyway. But it is a unique path as an entrepreneur. But it's a huge reason why I want to help other people, because I have grown through this stuff. I've had help, but it's been a pretty lonely journey. And part of the reason I do wish to help aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those who have been thinking about starting their business and think about transitioning out of their current job that may feel unsustainable or unfulfilling, or just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It inspires me, and my own challenges have inspired me to help other people through their journey, because I know exactly what it feels like. And to be able to cultivate a group to go through these challenges with, you know, to be able to share this experience with, to be able to help them when the going does get tough. You know, having help is very helpful. So, but recently it's just, okay, I'm gonna share exactly what I'm talking about. So yesterday I posted something and I thought it was like, I'm like, yeah, this is great, right? And I look across all my social media, and I used to really focus on the numbers because I thought that it was more so about my worth. Like, it said something about my worth. And it's a challenge that comes up for me that I get to kind of relearn over and over and over again. Except now I have the unique perspective in that what I'm sharing is also for the health of my business. Like, to actually help people is going to help everyone, and it's going to help other humans take this leap of faith for themselves and potentially make the best decision they've ever made, and have freedom in their life and time, and create their own schedule, and be their own boss, and do what they love, and like embrace their authenticity in a way that is not really possible in other careers and other ways. But I posted yesterday, and I look across all my social media platforms, and it's just gotten zero interaction. Which it's like, yes, that has no reflection of me and my worth, but it's a reflection of my business, and it can feel frustrating when I feel like I'm doing my best and it just doesn't feel good enough. It just doesn't feel good enough. And this is not a pity party. This is not a pity party. Luckily, it's perfect timing because I had a therapy session right before this. And yes, people who want to improve and grow go to therapy. There's no shame about it. I think it's the coolest thing ever, and she's so helpful in giving me a different perspective. So it's like, what can I learn from this challenge that is presenting itself to me? Well, it's like, I know it's not my worth as a human. I know that I'm still freaking awesome, and other people's validation doesn't mean anything, right? But it's like, in what ways am I myself not speaking to my audience? And I think that that's the main thing is, if you want to check out that post, I don't think that it's really speaking to my audience. And it's great that that came up for me. It's great because now I get to focus exactly on what my audience does need and what you guys need as people who have been thinking about this stuff and have just been maybe a little bit unsure of how to start or when to get started or what they need to do. What I posted the other day was just not really in congruence to that vision, to the people that I'm really here to try to help. So that was really helpful. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a rough time yesterday. Like, I felt like I was doing so good and all of these things, and it's just been something that's been coming up for me. But that's kind of what this journey is about, is taking action, you'll see, and also from my live the other day, taking messy action, because you're just doing it for the first time, and it's like getting familiar with how things work. Like, it's not gonna be just a piece of cake off the bat, it's not gonna be perfect right off the bat. It wouldn't be worth it if it was easy. But it's good. It's good to be able to grow through these challenges. And something that my therapist said, which is like something that I feel like I say all the time, but it just hits different when someone else says it to you. It's like, if you're feeling uncomfortable, it means you're growing. And I'm like, okay, well, I must just be growing a lot. And it's like, yeah. And that's kind of what this job gives you a very unique opportunity to do in ways that others wouldn't be able to help with, so it's great, and I know that all of this is a part of my story, and it's going to be a part of what makes it so inspiring when I get to share it. And just because it's tough right now doesn't mean that it's just it still means that it's happening for my highest and best good, and I just know it. And any challenges and experiences that you face that are challenging, it really is helping you. And that's in whatever career you choose, whatever life path you take, there are going to be challenges. It's just whether those challenges are worth the end result. Yeah, I don't think I've ever, okay, I like that. Cool. All right. So I'm going to wrap up pretty shortly here, but I do want to share, in case any of this resonated with you, and you personally find yourself stuck in a career that is just not sustainable, it's not exciting, it's not fulfilling, it's not providing for a life that you love, and it's not doing what you love, and you're kind of thinking of a way to transition into something else because you know that there's a more aligned, more aligned path for you. Maybe entrepreneurship is for you. Maybe starting is for you. And I'm not saying quit your job and fully sustain yourself as an entrepreneur. I'm saying, if you feel like what you're doing is unsustainable and you are thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can do this anymore, then it might be time to think about an exit strategy and a transition plan. And what I am offering later this month is an opportunity to start your own business. I say make your first $1,000 as an entrepreneur, right? It's not to immediately sustain yourself, because it's still transitioning. It's so that you can still sustain yourself in your current career, but also transition and start something new. And if future you wants to reap the rewards of fully transitioning out of that job and fully doing what you love all the time and experiencing all the benefits of being an entrepreneur, right? Like the freedom, high earning potential, the highest earning potential, helping the people that you're meant to help, and embracing your authenticity and getting rewarded for it, then it's time to think about action steps and considering taking some action steps towards starting your business now. If any of this resonates with you and future you wants to reap the rewards of being an entrepreneur, it takes current you making the decision and starting and forging that new path, that path to success, to future you's success. And I'm creating a course or a program. I'm creating something later this month that is going to help you do just that. Start transitioning out of your job so that you can start doing what you love full time and enjoy and experience all of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. And I created a priority waitlist, so be sure to sign up for that priority waitlist to be the first notified. There are only 5 spots for 5 founding members in my program. So if you want to snag your spot and you want to be the first in, and make sure you secure your position there, sign up for my priority waitlist. Is at the link in my bio or at lizziebeelove.com. If you found this helpful, if this provided any value for you, and you're interested in continuing to see the potential of what starting your journey as an entrepreneur can be, I go live every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and tune in live, mark your calendars. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next week, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, have a great day. Love you. Bye.